Alright, gonna do the oil mod on the York before I put it on my TJ. Your standard York, nothing exciting, junkyard fresh. Already removed the pulley just because this clutch was junk. When you get yours at the junkyard, try your best to try to make sure the pulley's good. That's like 70 bucks, so I'm boned on that, gotta buy one. Alright, top off. Junkyards, right? Separator plate with your valving. Oh, it's got a little filter. How about that? All this could be cleaned up. They sell gasket kits. You can kind of see there's that hole way down in there. That's the one you're looking to plug. Get your favorite sheet metal screw. I've seen people JB weld them. Who cares? You're only stopping some of the oil, you're not stopping it all. If you want to stop it all, you can put a real filter on the end of it. Just stop some of it, it's good enough. Before you ask me what size sheet metal screw, I don't know, you're old enough. Don't you have a box of them by now? Pick one that fits. Just that easy, now you can probably see it. You were curious? Suction, beautifully labeled, right? Suction, discharge, easy. Make sure I put it together mostly right, didn't mess up any of those valves. Awesome blossom. So I ordered the kit from Kilby, or CU Off-Road, for my 99 TJ. These are kind of what you get with the kit. You get support bracket, we get the actual compressor bracket, the spacer, the adapter pulley to go on the alternator, some hardware, and a belt. Everything else you see is kind of stuff I had around. Obviously we got the York. I have a quick manifold with a gauge, pressure valve, a blow off. These Yorks put out a lot of heat. The first 12 inches or so you want to run a braided line. This one also has a check valve in it. You need the check valve so it doesn't push air back into the York. Of course I have the official TJ compressor switch. I got some random fittings I had around the garage. This brass is going to be the intake for wherever that filter ends up. Then I only have a little small half-gallon tank. I have to run a aftermarket tube cone-like filter. I'm not the biggest fan of those. What I think I can do is actually move this back and reuse it and just put a splice in it somewhere. Figure that out later. One of the first steps is to get this out of the way, and we need to pull the alternator because I need to swap out that pulley. Okay, pull the belt. You have your idler down here. Don't take off more of the belt than you can remember, but you took a picture of it before you took it off, right? I did. The alternator positioned precariously. Easy, 7/8 socket. Rip that off. Pulley slides off. New pulley goes on. I have AC, so I got to pull the compressor, tilt it over, then get the bottom bracket underneath it. Actual compressor bracket goes on. These two bolts go underneath these compressor bolts. Top bracket. Cut it out. Don't be that guy, deburr it. Plop that in there. My hole is just big enough. I can tell already there's a good chance I'm not going to be able to use some of the slots in this bracket to tighten the belt. I'm probably going to jump it on. Manifold on. You can see this is just a simple little T. Here's my braided hose with check valve. I made a quick little bracket just to mount this off the side of the York. Gauge, pressure switch, blow off valve, and then my plastic airline. All right, so we have our dash apart, popped out our cover. We have our factory looking compressor switch. I ran my switch power from the switch. I poked it through the AC here, kind of joined on to whatever these were, tucked it up and put it under here. Alright, I've decided where I'm going to put the air box. Unfortunately, none of the existing things work. So we need to block off the plate and block off this and block off the intake snorkel. I could just cap these. I think I'm going to fiberglass over them and paint them and hide them. The idea is, even though the emission systems on the TJ stops at the PCV halfway through the intake, a lot of people out here don't understand it and will flag and question any sort of modifications to the intake. So if I fiberglass them, clean them, paint them, it's going to look factory most likely. Some fiberglass on the outside, glass on the inside. Here's this piece. I found a piece of ABS lying in the yard. This will be kind of my new snorkel for the air intake. Okay, all finished up. Let's see how we ended up. We've got our leader hose with our check valve. I got our manifold. We used our quick connect fitting. I ended up with my tank just over here, a little half-gallon tank. Let's talk about the air box. You can see this is where the hole was. I've turned it the other way. I've got a bracket to support the bottom. I had a splice in the middle. And the good news is that intake looks mostly factory, where the smog guy is not going to hassle me. All right, good job.